Hey guys, we're here at Xpel for a very important part of having PPF, which is to maintain the PPF. And some people always think that, well, after you install, that's it. But you know, part of actually having the PPF last long and making sure your car looks nice is actually have maintenance. So because of that, not only my PPF but also my coating on the PPF is really lasting. I'm going to show you just a moment. Look, I just arrived. Let me just do something really quick. Wow. That's been a 2-year-old coating, two and a half years old, right? And for most coating I've noticed in the market, you'll start to lose hydrophobicity. But take a look at this, right? It's still extremely hydrophobic. And part of the reason why is because after I installed the coating, I always send back here to do my maintenance. And typically, it'll be roughly around 3 to 6 months, but me being someone who like my car so much, I send here every 3 months to make sure that my coating is nicely topped up, make sure my PPF is all okay. So the car always has its hydrophobicity, because if you love the car, you want to make sure the car look good, right? In fact, that's just the ceramic coating that we want to maintain, but we also want to maintain the PPF. So I want to show you something very interesting. It's like sometimes, just sometimes, some of the edges here does get loose, and then dirt does get inside there. So with that, you know, we have to replace probably this one. You know, and it happens, right? Even with the best installation, sometimes with heat expanding and shrinking, it does get inside here, right? Which is why, if you get yourself a good PPF, one of the things to consider, don't just look at the price, the package, or the warranty, or whatever. It's like, do you have someone who can service you after you install the PPF? Which is why Xpel has a very strong emphasis on after you install. In Xpel Malaysia, they'll help you maintain your PPF, right? So things like this can get sorted in a matter of hours, right? In this case, I'll drop my car over here. I always give them ample time to do the work properly so my car looks nice, right? Because, you know, this is equivalent to my wife. While we're here, in fact, I'm going to get my watch. It's about watch PPF. I'll talk about that in another video. I do want to clarify some things, because many people who watch my video and sometimes they look at Xpel, and it's not just some people, sometimes other dealers who sell other products, they might say something like, well, Xpel actually is a China product. But you know, I've been an ambassador for this company for many years. I was a customer before, and I know behind the scenes of their products really come from USA. And I know it's easy to listen for me to say that, you know, and I managed to talk to the team, and they say, you know what, they're going to show you the actual documentation, the import papers that usually, you know, it's nothing to do with market. No one's going to share this with you outside there. But just for the sake to, you know, to make sure there's no doubt, these products does come from USA, right? These are all higher quality products, hence the premium price, but also the premium quality you get from Xpel, right? So with that, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to show you the actual documentation and talk you through a few more things, what to consider when you're going to install PPF, and why I choose Xpel and why so many supercar owners choose Xpel to protect their car, right? So let's head up. I just came in here before I start. I just saw that, and actually I realized how embarrassing it was because I was 10 seconds slower than Zen Lau, right? So yeah, I was a pretty shitty driver compared to him, right? So anyways, I'm here to show you a very important document which normally most people doing marketing or doing sales or branding, they'll never want to show. But we do realize the importance of backing up what we say, right? You know, it's good to demystify and, you know, to sort of, you know, because a lot of people use hearsay and say, you know, Xpel comes from China, blah, 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 right? So it's very easy to go that route, but it's probably better to just follow facts, right? They say facts tell, stories sell, or documentation beats conversation, right? That's the word for it. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so we got the approval to share this, okay? So this is actually a declaration of goods imported goods, right? So this is a Malaysian sort of documentation. So if you're importing anything, and those of you who ever imported AP holder cars, grey imported cars, you get something like this, right? So anything being imported in Malaysia, you have to pay duties and stuff. So this is where Xpel import their parts, right? So you can see here, the person who is sending the exporter is Xpel USA, right? So the stuff are actually bought from Xpel USA and sent to the sole distributor, the main distributor in Malaysia, Windshield Marketing Sdn Bhd, which is in charge of exports. You can see Windshield is right over there, right? Okay, so all the things that they sell, right? The PPF, Ultimate Plus 7, right? So you got the PPF, which is Ultimate Plus, they got Stealth, right? Basically all these things, including all the other window tints. So all this are actually, this is the best proof you can give. It's a government official document saying that all these products are coming from USA, right? So again, over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Origin, country code, US, 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 right? So I hope this debunks everything. Everyone says that, well, it's made from China, blah, 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 this and that. Well, here you go, it's debunked. Okay, since we're on that topic, there's some nuances to the different types of PPF you can purchase in Xpel, right? So most of them, right, probably most of the ones that are being sold is actually manufactured in USA. There's only one of it is manufactured outside USA. But let me explain and run you through the different products you can get as PPF in Xpel. So it's not only one type of PPF, right? So here's a great example. The flagship product is what we call the Ultimate Plus, right? So there's the Xpel Ultimate Plus protection film. As you can see here, this is XUP7. So this is the 7 mils one. So it goes from 7, 8, and 10 mils. 8 being the most commonly used one, 10 is for extra protection, right? So these are what we call like the flagship models, and it offers the best protection out there. And what I do like about it is that it's super glossy, and as I've used it after many years, I discovered why the gloss is really, really good is because of its top coat technology and what they call a 2-layer film. I'll talk about it in a moment, right? So then you have after you have the Ultimate Plus, which includes the Stealth for the matte cars and the black, if you want to do black color for your cars, we go down one category, it's actually called the XPG, so XP Gloss. So this is a slightly more economical access point for PPF, and this one comes with the Xpel Fusion ceramic coating on top of it, and there's one installed on my dad's car, right? So the Ultimate Plus, I use it for my Spider, my Alpine, my Mini Classic, but for my dad's car, we opted for the XPG, right? So it's one grade down, but it's still a great product, and this is what we call a 3-layer film, okay? So, but the third one, which is an entry-level PPF, is what we call the Protect Slide over here. So this one got launched early this year, and this is the access point, the most economical way to get into the Xpel family, right? Now this one is the only one that is manufactured outside US, right? It's designed in US, but it's manufactured outside US, just like Apple phones, right? They're designed in Cupertino in California, and it's manufactured in China and in India. So only that one is manufactured outside China. But all the PPFs, other than that, the XPG, Ultimate Plus, all of it is actually from USA. Okay, so make no mistake about that. So the only nuance is that that specific PPF is not manufactured in USA, right? Now with that, I want to go and talk about one last thing in this video, which is why Ultimate Plus is the premium brand PPF out there, and it has to do with that 2 layers film compared to 3 layers outside there. So why is 2 layer better than 3? I'll explain in a moment. Most films out there are what they call 3-layer films, okay? So you have the bottom part, which is the adhesive, where you peel off and you stick onto the car. You have the PPF, and then you have what we call a cap sheet, okay? So I'm going to show you what it is over here. So this is an example of 3 layers, and it's applied onto, this technology is applied to Protex, okay? Because Protex Slide is a entry-level film made outside of USA, right? So all brands out there, they are either made in USA or made outside USA, and they all use 3 layers, okay? So in these 3 layers, you can see that first one over here, right? This little thing is what they call the cap sheet. So this is made to protect the PPF, which protects your car. So you protect the thing that protects your car. Kind of weird, isn't it? And then the bottom part is your adhesive, right? So you have to, when you install this, you have to rip this out, and then you install into your car, right? And the reason why this cap sheet exists is because when you put this in a roll, okay, they can get oxidized because they don't immediately go onto your car. They put it in the storeroom, it goes in transportation, in the storerooms again, and it can get oxidized. So you prematurely lose its glossiness. Sometimes it even get hard, and it also can form dimples and crinkles and stuff like that. Just imagine all the stress you put onto the film. So imagine you get your expensive, you pay thousands of dollars to get your films, and you want to install onto your car, and it's like all these little dots and that. So they have to use this to protect that, right? Now, Ultimate Plus is so confident that they don't have a cap sheet. So all you have is 2 layers. You have the adhesive, which is the liner, and then the PPF. That's it, right? You see, this is the one with the cap sheet, but if I remove it, the texture looks the same, right? Of course, this is a bit crinkled up, right? Because I've been playing around with it, okay? So that's what I mean by having 2 layers. So why is this impressive, right? See, they are so confident that, you know, they put in a roll, they store it for months or whatever, and ship it around, get it stressed and exposed to oxidation. It's not going to get damaged because it's the way they treat the PPF, the way they treat the top coat, creates this really corrosion resistant, this really hardy top coat. And that's also what gives that beautiful gloss in the PPF that you see in Xpel. So you look at my Spider, my Alpine, it's extremely glossy and it maintains its gloss even after it's being dirtied, after a long drive, after not washing for 2-3 weeks, it's still glossy because that top coat is so resilient and it forms that nice glossy look. And that's why, you know, they don't have to put a top coat on it or put a caption on it. For me, this shows confidence in the product, and that's why whatever brands out there say, right, we are the same as Xpel or better than Xpel. For me, it's like if your sheet needs 3 layers, you know, it means you have to protect your PPF before it goes on it. It means it's not as good as 2 layers, doesn't need any protection. Okay, and I'm saying this not to put this 3 layers technology down. Look, Xpel even uses it on the XPG, which is a USA made 3 layers film, and their Protex film, which is a non-USA made film. It's just that they're 2 different categories. That's what I'm trying to say. 4-cylinder is a 4-cylinder, right? A V8 is a V8, right? Like, as much as I love my Alpine, it is still not a Ferrari, okay? Because it's a 4-cylinder Nissan engine, okay? So I'm going to accept it that way. And the same thing goes for these things, right? Because if it's a 3-layer, then it's a 3-layer, right? But you can't possibly compare it with a 2-layer. They're a class above. And that's why Xpel remains to be those brands out there. When you install onto a car, you look at it, you know, after 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, it still remains to look nice and glossy because the construction of the PPF is so good. It doesn't require any protection even during its wrapping phase. You know, I mean, I know it's a very geeky thing, but you know, I've been very impressed with Xpel. I use them on all my cars, and now I finally know why. Like compared to like my dad's car, for example, you know, his previous PPF, after 5 years, it just started looking a bit old, and you know, the color is not popping anymore. Okay guys, I hope this gives you a better idea on why Xpel is different than other brands outside there. And again, I'm not going this whole marketing spin behind it. I want to give you a very geeky way of appreciating the brand. I know this video is not for everyone, but I know for some of you, this could be one of a very big investment you ever do in your car. And I hope these technical details give you a bit more confidence on exactly what you're buying into. Right? And that's also why I became a really loyal customer before I became an ambassador with Xpel. Alright? So if you enjoyed this content, please let me know in the comments. Let me know what do you appreciate from this content here. And if anything or rebuttal or something, just say it down there. In fact, just say anything in the comments, it helps the algorithm, right? And even to find out more about Xpel's products, link in the description below to find out more about ceramic coating, their PPF, their windscreen protector, and also their ceramic coating, all of that in the comments below, right? As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in another content. Please subscribe to the channel, and as always, keep it 100 and peace out.